Please forgive me, this video might end up going all over the place. I have a few different bullet points or outlines that I want to touch base on. But basically, I asked my Snapchat any suggestions they had for videos. The suggestion that I did receive was to give advice to younger girls, and that really stood out to me just because that's something I've always really felt strong about. And I used to be very active on my own blog on Tumblr when I was kind of going through high school, and I used to get anonymous questions all the time about advice. It always made me feel so good to be able to give advice, or that these people even came to me and trusted my opinion. Of course, I'm not an expert, not certified, but I do have my own life experience, and I just kind of took from that, tried to apply that to those people's situations and give them the best advice that I could. That being said, I do, like, something inside me really genuinely does like giving advice, especially to younger girls, because I feel like I'm not trying to downplay anything that younger boys go through, or girls of all ages, or boys of all ages, no matter what sex you are. But me being a girl and me growing up and experiencing certain things, I feel like I can talk more on that subject and to younger girls. And I think girls go through so much growing up and trying to find who they are, especially these days with social media and just so many different things surrounding us, and things to compare ourselves to, and standards being set in movies and TV shows and magazines on what beautiful is and what we're supposed to look like, and just all these different things. And I think when you are young and you are trying to find yourself, you really don't know. It's very overwhelming, like, how you're supposed to be. And so I guess my biggest regret from my past, not being myself through school. And I would say it wasn't that I was somebody else or trying to be someone else. It's just I was so worried about what other people thought about me that I just, like, was a turtle, just like in my shell. And I was so quiet, and I had my group of friends, but I just wish, like, if I could go back, I just wish that I honestly did not care about what others thought about me, because you shouldn't. And it's so hard to do. It's so easier said than done. But now, like, being the person I am today and in my position, I look back and I'm like, why was I afraid to be who I was? There's literally no reason. Like, we all, have such unique features, and we're never gonna please everybody. And I think that it's so hard to understand that and accept that at such a young age. So if you can do that, that's amazing. But just really understanding that you will never be able to please everybody around you, everyone on social media, I think that is really important. So that is my biggest regret. I was super quiet. I always cared about what people thought about me, or I always thought about what others were thinking about me. And I think it was so toxic for my mind. And I would say that was my freshman through junior year. Would be one of my biggest regrets, because I feel like it really held me back from maybe possible opportunities that I have, or things that I declined because I was afraid of, just stupid things. And I mean, like, it doesn't keep me up at night, because I believe that, that we all have a path and everything happens for a reason, and that I'm here today and I am the person I am because of my past, which I'm so, in the big picture appreciative of. If I hadn't gone through these things myself and these struggles and challenges, then I wouldn't be able to teach it to somebody else, or, when I have my own kids, I wouldn't be able to be sympathetic or understand what they're going through. Hopefully they won't go through that, but you know what I'm saying? So advice to younger girls, and I guess just advice in general. And I guess we could apply it to different subjects. First, I can apply it to a lot of questions I would get or advice I'd get asked about on my blog, caring so much about what others think and how do you not care. Honestly, when you are young, like, it's amazing. The opportunities in front of you are endless. I wish my mindset was more of how it is now, is that you never know what opportunities are going to come to you and what's going to happen for you. And to me, that just excites me. If you live kind of in that mindset thinking like, wow, like I'm just so grateful for the relationships I have, for the people who love me, for my health, the fact that I can get up in the morning and go do these things. If you focus on little things and you remind yourself every day of those good little things, kind of the other little like noise starts to phase out and all the things that don't really matter. Honestly, everything I worried about in high school does not happen today. Like, all my worries, none of those really happened. And the only things, like, it's situations that you create in your head that aren't really even going to happen, or people aren't even really thinking about, that you're thinking about and you're creating. And I think we add so much stress to our own lives, if that makes sense. Honestly, I love being independent. I love being able to learn things on my own, and you don't need other people. I mean, like, you do in a way. Relationships are great. Like, when it all comes down to it, those are what we should, value the most, is our relationships that we do have. But trying to win everybody over, there's bigger things in life. There's more important things in life. And there's so many things you can learn, especially with like today, the internet. To me, it's so cool. You can just always learn so many things. So if you're bored, or if you don't have a friend to hang out with or know what to do, like, just go learn something. Like, watch a TED Talk, get a book. For me, the reason I started working out, I think, was because it was kind of like an outlet, just something to go do. And then it became kind of like a habit, and then kind of like an obsession, but in a good way. And there's just so many things you can do to grow your mind, your body, and so you don't really need to rely on others. I think once you learn to be independent and just rely on yourself and make yourself happy, is when you feel like the best inside and that you've really achieved something. You feel good, you feel kind of just at peace and safe with who you are. And I feel like this video is like rambling and going in so many different directions, but hopefully at least some part of it reaches out to you or helps you. More advice to younger girls: please don't obsess over looks. This is like, I think it can be so toxic, only thinking about the way you look on the outside. I think you can get lost and lose yourself and lose your personality when you're only focused on how you appear on the outside and your physical appearance. It's hard not to do that as humans. Being an athlete or working out or a healthy habit like that, it can turn into something negative because you become so obsessed with what you look like on the outside. It's sad to me that so many girls feel so much insecurity and pressure because of comparison to others, with social media, with other things like that. I went through it. I occasionally still go through it. I think at some point everyone's going to go through that. It's hard, honestly, because I think as humans we just want approval. But like I said, if you are so focused on your outside beauty, oh my god, this could be a whole nother video. This video is going to be so long. Who you are on the inside is the number one. It is the most important. And once you kind of really feel that, like, the love that you have for yourself, there's really no other feeling. And I think once you really like connect to that, it feels really good. I've written things on this in the past, and I think it should be a separate video, but the whole modeling industry is very crazy and complex, and I've had my own experiences with it. I have friends who have had their experiences with it. I have friends who are still in it. Not friends I'm like, I have a million friends. No, I know people who are in it. It's their passion. It's what they love to do. But I think it's gotten a little bit better. But honestly, girls have so many disorders and insecurities and problems with their health just because they're either one in the modeling industry and they're trying to, keep their body to the standards that their agencies want them to be, or two, they're girls who just want to look like the models they see, and so they do all these crazy things just to look that way. But what's the point? Once you look that way, then what? Like, it's a cycle. You're never going to be happy. Like, if you ever do look like the model on the cover of that magazine, then what? Like, I think we get so obsessed with looking a certain way and showing other people how we look. And I'm not saying I'm not in that category, because yeah, I post on Instagram, yeah, I post on Snapchat. But me posting is me trying to inspire, me trying to educate, or me being proud of the goals I've achieved in the gym. It's not me trying to look like someone else. I just want to be the best self that I can be, and it took me a long time to be in that mindset. So that being said, I think that bullet point was outside beauty is not everything. Your personality is everything. When have you met someone and you're like, damn, you look so good, but your personality sucks? I would love to be your friend, or I would love to get to know that person. I think when you talk to someone who has depth within their mind and just has an amazing personality, I think you really want to connect with that person and get to know that person more, and you want them in your life. So, of course, looks, they matter to everybody, and it's okay to want to look good. That's all I'm saying, but just don't let it take over your mind. My next piece of advice: surround yourself with people who have similar goals as you. I cannot stress that enough. When you are around people who want to better themselves and want to see results, not only in a gym, but just, in their own lives and hitting their own goals, when you feel that motivation and that support around you, it's so contagious, and it just lifts you up and it makes you want to be a better person. I think a lot of people don't, because when you're just kind of hanging out with a crowd or whoever you end up being around, or you're in a clique and you're just with people, you don't really think about it and you feel fine. But if you compare that to surrounding yourself with people who are positive and have the same vibes as you, or can help you grow and you can help them grow, and it's a nice little partnership, it just feels good. I think life is all about trial and error and growing. This position is so uncomfortable. I hope this is still recording. I mean, like I said, this video was probably all over the place. I just kind of wanted to speak on whatever came to my mind, and like I said, I hope that at least something stuck with you. Love giving advice to the best that I can. So if you guys ever have questions or ever have a suggestion for a specific topic video, feel free to ask me. Life is just about growing, meeting people, making mistakes, learning from them, finding your passion. I think that's huge, because without a purpose or a passion, I don't really know what you're living for. I think so many people get stuck in that, you grow up, you go to college, you get your job, you work your 9 to 5, you get a family, or you don't get a family, and then you retire. And everyone's working towards retirement, and I think it's just so sad, because you're not taking the time to live in the moment and really learn from what you're going through, or learning from the people around you. I think we all have a passion. We're all taught these certain things that sometimes we don't really get to explore our more creative sides and what really makes us happy. And honestly, you can turn any passion you have into monetary value. So people always be like, oh, I love to do this, but I can't make money from it. But honestly, there's just always a way. And that's how I feel. And I think it's sad, I was saying, just seeing all these people. I don't know if I'm the only one, but sometimes I just sit, you know, sit somewhere and I watch people and I'm like, I see people do the same things every day, and I'm totally one of those people. Sometimes you get in your routine, you get comfortable, you don't want to go out and explore. And one of my goals for this year, say yes more, which can be tricky. You learn so much when you go out of your comfort zone, and I think taking risks and just going after what you want, going after your heart, everything will fall into place. I think we get so caught up in relationships, little things, and with people who seem to matter so much, but then next year you might not even be talking to them. And I think really wrapping your mind around that people and situations are going to come into your life, and a lot of them are not going to be permanent, and they're just only meant to come into your life for a certain period of time. Whether you can make sense of that now or later, you will. But I believe situations and people come in to teach us things, and it can be really hard to be okay with that and move on from certain things, but it's really true. And so I think once you kind of wrap your head around that and arrange your priorities and what's gonna be best for you, I think that's the best. I could literally talk for 500 million hours, and if you're still in this video, I'm sure you're getting really hungry, because I am. I'm getting really hungry. So I'm gonna go watch the football game, and my next video will probably be a workout. I hope it will be a workout. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I would love it if you could subscribe or give this video a thumbs up or comment or give me feedback and let me know what you want to hear more of or less of. Thank you guys.